Welcome back to Hardball. And a new book, best-selling author Christopher Anderson goes inside the marriage of the first couple. It's called Barack and Michelle, Portrait of an American Marriage. Welcome, sir. Christopher, good luck again with a great book.
Thank you.
Let me ask you, what did you learn that's different between the Clinton marriage and the Obama marriage?
Boy, where do I start? You know, I mean, with a lot of these marriages, I did a book on the Kennedys, one on the Clintons, one on the Bushes, a lot of tension simmering underneath the surface. In the case of the Clintons, outright hostility at a couple of points. Not so with the Obamas. You know, in this case, they're full partners. One doesn't feel smothered or eclipsed by the other. You know, it's a very different situation we have in the White House now. One of their friends told me they love each other, of course, but the most important thing is that they respect each other and are proud of the work they're doing.
Is there a division of the spoils like there was with the Clintons, where Hillary Clinton, rightly or wrongly, insisted on a piece of the action, a piece of the clipboards, the staff, etc., wanted to run health care, a seventh of the economy, as part of a kind of a division of power? Does Michelle insist on any share of power?
No, and it's funny, too, because Michelle is as instrumental in his success as a political figure as Hillary was in the success of Bill, maybe more so. But she's very careful to play, to not look as if she's power grabbing it all. So she's steering this midway course between Laura Bush, who had the more traditional role of First Lady, and Hillary. When she talks about health care now, she's talking about how, you know, these problems affected her family. I mean, she had one child, Sasha, who at the age of 3 months was rushed to the hospital and diagnosed with meningitis. And for 72 hours, she was in that hospital room with Sasha. So was Barack. And, you know, it really changed their lives. And, of course, her father had MS, and she grew up with this problem. And he died, unfortunately, at the age of 55. So she knows all about the health problems that people face in this country.
Can Barack still impress his wife?
Oh, yeah. As a matter of fact, you know, Valerie Jarrett, their great friend, says, you know, there's an element of fear on Barack's part, which is good. You know, he doesn't want to just do the wrong thing or say the wrong thing. And, you know, look, he says she's my co-conspirator. She's the one person who keeps things real. And Michelle says, yeah, I'm the badass wife who keeps things real. So she knows she's got to. And in any let's face it, any long-term marriage, any marriage that's going to last.
No, you're missing my point, Christopher. I'm trying to be positive here. You're talking words like badass here.
No,
I'm trying to I want to know. This is something every guy out there wants to know the answer to, because he wants to know if it's true for himself. Can he still impress his wife, do surprising things? Can he still win her heart anew?
Well, you know, I think everything he has accomplished, a lot of what he's accomplished is, I would say my take on it is that, you know, she's constantly surprised by what this man's been able to achieve, because she wasn't so sure it was smart to run for the Senate in the beginning or smart to run for president. But when she was on board, she was one of his most important tools.
What do you think it's like up there in that beautiful upstairs of the White House? I remember seeing it in the movie Dave, and I was up there once with President Bush Sr. He had us up there for a movie one night, my wife and I. What do you think it's like up there on a night? I mean, the Reagans used to watch TV together. They had a very sort of empty nest sort of marriage, very comfortable. The Clintons, I guess, were always busy doing something. What do you think it's like upstairs at the White House at night?
Well, I think the Obamas, first of all, they're close to their children. It's for the first time in their lives, and they've been able to spend some time with them. So there is that kind of quality family time. But sure, they make time for each other. As a matter of fact, he has talked about the fact that every day he makes what he calls Michelle time to be with the First Lady. They've got Marion Robinson upstairs, the grandmother, on the third floor, helping him out with the kids. So things are a lot easier and nicer for them. They're really flourishing, I think, their personal relationship as well as his presidency.
Where did the idea that Michelle would be a Jackie-like? I mean, it's so... You have to be careful about these things. We're both men, so let's not get into a gender thing. But there's something spectacular about the way that she's presented herself as First Lady. Certainly Hillary wasn't a clothes horse. No. Laura Bush wasn't. Mamie Eisenhower wasn't. Bess Truman wasn't. Jackie was.
I spent a little bit of time with... I know what you're saying, because I spent some time with Jackie, and you know, she was a very impressive woman. But she was... you know, I think Michelle is just as stylish, but not, frankly, as cold and aloof and removed. Jackie always looked like a deer caught in the headlights if you met at her at a cocktail party. Not so here. This is a woman who really, I think, people can identify with. You know, that she talks about the carpools that she did during the campaign and all the parent-teacher conferences that they still go to, by the way, to try and portray them as the kind of, in some ways, the most quintessentially American, I think, first family that we've had, which is really saying something.
How did she transit from being a woman who had a certain militance about it? First of all, if you know me, I'm pretty liberal about these things. I don't think it's a bad thing to be a little militant if you're African American after the history they've been through.
Sure.
But their people have been through. But a little bit of attitude there. And now it seems to be a much more grand attitude than a... I've got a point of view here that's a little bit upset with this country. When she said things like, the first time I've been proud to be an American, when did that when her husband began to win primaries and caucuses?
Well, I got to tell you, the genesis of that, you got to look at this woman. When she went to Princeton, her roommate, her white roommate's mother, pulled her daughter out of that room when she learned that Michelle was black. I mean, she said she's constantly, people say, gosh, you sound so articulate, just like a white girl. I mean, she'd had to put up with racism on a personal level, and I think she was speaking honestly then, but you're right. I think she's changed her tune now that she's seen, the country is in a position to change.
Well,
and it has changed.
Hey, we'll see you later. Thank you very much, Christopher. You're an amazing, successful guy. You have a winning streak here.